Oh, that's all right.
So we're at Super Tattoo and with Dylan and Brandon again. It looks like we're in a little bit of a sensitive area.
Oh, we're good now.
Okay, we're good now.
He moved. We're golden.
And we were just talking about dinosaurs and stuff. And now, how old's your boy, man?
He's gonna be 9 in June.
Okay.
A couple weeks.
So, all right. I don't have any kids. I'm not gonna have kids. So my question to you is, when it comes to dinosaurs, how do you feel about dinosaurs first?
Well, I was a kid. I loved dinosaurs. My kid loves dinosaurs. He's in the same boat I was when I was 8, 9 years old. It's
right.
The greatest thing in the world. Unfortunately, you ain't ever going to see one. And these days, I don't even know what to believe with how much of any of that is even real.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like museums. You don't see the actual dinosaur bones in a museum.
Replicas.
You see replicas. You don't. There's some interesting stuff behind that. So. But the thing that I've learned through all this stuff is for a kid, it breaks their heart if they found it. It's like finding out Santa Claus ain't real.
Yes.
But the thing is none of that shit even matters. It's so unimportant, which is why we put so much stock into it. Yeah. Is beyond me. It's because we were told to put stock into it, even though it has no bearing on our day-to-day life. So yeah, my belief. Okay, now, do I believe dinosaurs could have been real? Sure, my belief allows me to believe anything's possible. Yes. Do I necessarily think they were real? Not the way we've been taught. Not the way we've been told. Outside of that, I don't know. I wasn't there, so...
Exactly. We're not there. We can't say.
It's so unimportant.
So, your boy's going to be turning 9, right?
Yep.
So does he believe in Santa Claus right now?
That's kind of a weird one because I have kind of... And my wife didn't like it, but I kind of broke that barrier down, maybe unintentionally. I mean, it was definitely purposefully, because I don't want my kids. Here's something. People tell me things like, like atheists say we shouldn't teach our children about God or stuff like that. You can't see him; he's not there. You can't touch him. But yet we make billions of children around the world believe wholeheartedly in Santa Claus.
Yeah, or dinosaurs maybe.
Or dinosaurs. So. That one, I had opened the box on that one. Yes. The wife didn't like it when I did, so I haven't pursued it. Okay. But I know that he paid attention when I did. He did. My daughter, on the other hand, I don't think was paying much attention because that was a couple years ago, so she would have been like 4. Okay. When it happened, whereas he was 6. So that's when, it's only been two and a half years ago, so I kind of broke that open. So I think he's remembered and he knows, He plays along, for the little kids. Of course, that's good. But, it's like I try to tell my wife, why, we make them believe in Santa Claus more than we make them believe in what we actually believe in, so. Yeah. That's why I have a problem with it.
That makes sense. And my question is, since I'm not going to have kids, when it comes to, talking about Santa Claus and Easter Bunny, and now with what you think about dinosaurs, do dinosaurs get wrapped up in that category? Is that something that you tell your children that you think that they may not be of what they say they are? Or, is that even a subject? What do you do with your kids about that?
I make comments like that. I don't necessarily say that dinosaurs weren't real. I always try to steer away from absolutes. Yes. I wasn't there, so I don't know. But, I try to explain to them, that don't believe everything you're told. Don't believe everything you're taught. It doesn't mean that was how it was or that's real, So I try to get them into being able to think for themselves and make their own decisions, Now, there'll come a point where I will open the box on a lot of shit for them when they're ready. Little bits at a time. I think I went way too fast into my dealio, dude. My mind was, I was losing it for a while because there was so much shit. So much stuff, so, I was 3 a.m.ers every night, and having to be up early the next day, and I was losing it for a while, so, I think it's better to go slow into it, as you're learning that how BS our world is, and just, but the thing is most of that stuff, whether it's real or not, is irrelevant anyway, like right now, we're having a conversation, that's relevant. Yes. I don't give a shit about the man on the moon. It has no effect. No. I don't care about the Seattle Seahawks. I know there's Seahawks fans. I keep up on it to a degree. But if they lose a game, it doesn't.
It has no impact on your life.
Yeah, it has no impact on life. I don't care about the baseball teams. I don't. I used to be big into sports, mainly football, but it has such little meaning for me personally. Anyway.
Right.
It's useless. My kids, my family, my friends. Those are things that are within my bubble.
Yes.
That's what's relevant. That's what matters.
So then, would you say maybe the sports are just another good distraction year round, right?
It's the modern day Roman gladiatorial games. Is all it is.
Yeah.
That's what they did back in ancient times in Rome. Was they had the gladiatorial games to get people away from the political fractures of their society.
Right.
Guess what? We're in the same boat.
Okay.
Trying to get people more focused on sports than our social decay and our political decay and our religious decay and our educational decay. Every great civilization, those are the common denominators when they fell.
Yeah.
Social, economic, religious, political. There's one other one. Decayed.
Yeah.
Guess what? It destroyed their civilizations. We're basically in that same time frame, except for we did it in half the time.
Yeah.
Than all the other ones. We're at like 200, not even 250 years yet. We're about to do it, and I think the shortest one before that was like 500 years.
I was watching something yesterday. I was watching Joe Rogan. I forget how old this one was, but you know what Joe Rogan said? That right now, and it could have been a year ago, I don't know. Right now, scientists and whoever deals with animals are watching the apes go into their stone age.
Oh, yeah?
They're evolving in front of our eyes. And the monkeys, Brandon shakes his head. The monkeys are in the Stone Age because they showed a picture of a monkey holding a stone, hitting it against another stone. There's something ridiculous like that, and it's like, wow.
That's pretty...
It's happening right now. We're watching evolution,
right now, right?
He's saying, yeah. So, I thought that was pretty good.
Is that how Joe Rogan worded it too? We're witnessing evolution right now?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really scientific.
Yeah, he said, we won't, it'll take a couple million years, but these apes that are hitting the rocks...
He's going to build cities?
Yes. That's what he was saying, guys.
The apes. Yeah. They were foreshadowing the movies.
We're going to take over and we'll be all freaking slaves and stuff.
And we'll be slaves to the apes.
Man. So now I got one more for you, Dylan. Yeah. Now, what if when your kids get older, they're like, hey, Dad, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up?
We've kind of talked about that a little more.
Okay.
So,
like, what do you talk?
I mean, it's not been like full blown because they're so young, so you could, the mind can only handle so much.
Right.
But basically, I've asked them, what do you think the Earth feels like? What kind of shape?
Have you asked them that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, we've gone over that stuff a little bit, but now he's in school, so I think they're kind of getting that indoctrination. Mm-hmm. So I got to combat that and make sure that I'm not telling you your teacher's wrong, but ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
Be a questioner. Don't just be a follower.
Don't be a
question everything.
Yeah.
So he's good at asking questions. So.
And does he ask questions?
He does. He asks a lot of questions. So he asks a lot of questions.
Wow.
So, but that's kind of my thing with him is I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm going to tell you what I believe.
Yeah.
But I want you to always ask questions. Don't ever be satisfied when somebody tells you how something is if you haven't experienced it. So that's kind of my big thing is, until you've experienced it firsthand, you only have what somebody else tells you.
Yes.
And you take or leave it as truth or not. So... I'm not calling everybody a liar who's experienced stuff I haven't experienced because I haven't experienced it. I'm just saying that if that's the case, it's irrelevant to me for one. But if you want to know something, 100%, the only way to truly know is to experience it yourself.
That's true, yeah.
So, it doesn't matter how much somebody tells you.
Uh-huh.
So,
And did you say then your boys said that it feels like it's flat, like it's not moving
he
and stuff?
He totally thought it was crazy when we mentioned that. Yeah, most of the world believes the world is round. It's a ball. He's like, what? Because that's the first perception a kid has. Is, they go by what they feel, what they are experiencing, that it's flat. So it'll be interesting to see where he goes. Like I said, I'm not going to force him to believe anything.
Of course not.
That I do or don't. He'll make his own decisions at some point. The only thing I can do is teach them the best. Teach them, here's what this side says. Here's what this side says. Here's what I say, and here's your options. You don't even have to have it. You don't even have to take any of those options. You can just decide to discard it all, which is kind of where I'm at. Where I don't really subscribe to either side. I definitely don't subscribe to this one side at all.
Yeah.
So that's the mainstream. That's the government.
Yep.
That's the science realm. Now I'm not saying there isn't any science that's true, just meaning the big stuff.
Yeah, I think it'd be like dinosaurs. It's not what we consider it being. Gravity might be there, but not an invisible force holding everything to the ground. Yeah.
So, and then there's the other side, which has been coming forward the last handful of years, which, I started out subscribing to that, but now I'm in the boat where I think they've lost sight of what they were originally intending to do, and to the point to where I'm at a point where they're just doing the same thing the other side is doing. Oh, you got some animations you made up, but again, we still don't know.
There's just more animations that seem better, yeah.
So it's I'm not calling them wrong. I mean, I agree with questioning them.
Yes.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, but don't turn around and say this is how it is when you still don't know.
Right.
So that's kind of where I lose stuff with those guys like Matt Powerland and Eric Dubay, but at Mark Sargent or even the more up and comers.
Yeah.
They want to tell you to question everything and then turn around and tell you this is how it is.
With no solid foundation to me.
So I'm more of a, my wholehearted what I know is what's right here.
Yep.
Outside of that, it's all belief.
Yes.
And if you choose to believe it or not. And I just, like I said, my belief allows me to believe anything is possible, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's all real.
Yeah. Just
because it's possible doesn't mean it's true. So it's like one of my co-workers there, he asked me about Bigfoot. He said, well, what do you think? Do you think Bigfoot's real? Because he kind of knows how my belief goes. And I said, well, my belief allows me to believe that Bigfoot is possible, but it doesn't necessarily mean I think Bigfoot is real. No, I'm not saying Bigfoot's not real. I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't seen it yourself.
Yeah, so...
And you trust your own senses.
Yeah, so, and that's how that is. So just question everything. And... hold on to that which is good.
That's all that can be done, man.
That's the best thing I can say, man.
Now, I forgot, you're religious?
I'm not in the sense of religious as I subscribe to any church.
Okay, so
I read my Bible, I read a lot of pseudepigrapha, apocrypha, I'll read Confucius, I read a lot of stuff, so, I believe in a creator.
Yes.
Something. Whether it's a him, her, or it, or both, or all, is irrelevant. I believe there is a creator. And some sort of creation, because I see it in our own world. In order for a baby to be born, it takes a mother and father to create it. It doesn't just spontaneously happen. So,
not a big bang.
Through real life experiences, based off of that, I believe something else created the first human, the first man and woman. And again, you can't have a baby without a man and a woman at the same time. So that's another issue I have with evolution, because that means it had to happen twice at the exact same time in the same area.
Yeah.
So,
that's good. I hadn't thought of that one.
Yeah, sure, they just keep evolving, but then two had to keep evolving. I don't know. It just gets weird. They'll make it more and more complicated. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. But yeah, I do. I believe in prayer. I believe in being thankful. For what we got. I also believe in giving credit where credit's due. So everybody wants to give God credit, and I give God credit for everything that I believe it is. But I also thank my wife for cooking dinner. I thank my kids for, to understand, the Bible even says that, we are sons of God. We're not just this useless flesh. So, there's the ultimate thankfulness, but I also got to be thankful to, you guys for doing my artwork. There's levels of thankfulness, and you got to realize that we're all sons of God. If you read the Bible, your own Bible tells you that it says, did I not say you are all gods? You're all sons of the Most High. Okay. Therefore, we have to be, because if we were created by God, if we're a child of God, we are God. We are the same thing. We were made with material from the Creator Himself,
and
itself,
in
whatever.
His image.
So we were made in the image, yeah. So does it mean we're exactly that same thing? No, but we are in the image. We are an offspring. We are the continuation. Whatever. It doesn't. I don't know, but it's like I said, I read my Bible, but most Christians disagree with me on a lot of stuff.
Right.
So I'm on a whole different plane with what the Bible teaches. So a lot. Also, I'm very specific. Like I don't. A lot of Christians will tell you the pseudepigrapha and the apocrypha, these writings, that they had secret teachings of Jesus and stuff. And I turn around and say, you use your own Bible and you use it as a secret teaching, because you turn around and say, well, Jesus really meant this. Or in this time, this is what they did. Whereas I read the Bible, I say, oh, maybe they just meant exactly what they said.
Right.
When Paul wrote something, he wrote exactly what he said. When John wrote something, he meant exactly what he said. There was no, he really meant this. And that's, I just read it at the face value of what it says and what it means, So, and a lot of Christians will disagree with me on that.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's how it is.
Are you a dome believer then, from the Bible, for the firmament? How do you feel about that?
Something, I don't know.
Okay.
You're
not opposed to it.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm not going to sit here and say that's how it is, again, because I don't know, I haven't been there.
Right.
It's just like death, the Bible teaches about death and after death and stuff. But again, I ain't experienced that yet. At least I don't think I have. I'm not sure, but
exactly. Yeah.
But I don't think I've experienced death. So, until I see the other side, I can tell you what I believe or what I think might be possible, or with what this book says, or this book says, or what this book says. Until I actually experience it, I'm not 100% sure.
Those are great answers, man, because you can't say, so that you're... That's all. I just love it that you'll be honest with everything. And with the thinking, man, that's good, because when before I believed in the Creator, I'm new to this, but I used to make Facebook posts on Christmas, and I would say, hey, when you're sitting down with your loved ones for your family dinner, don't thank God. You make sure to thank the person who worked for the money to pay for the food, and thank the person who took the time to prepare the food. Don't thank God, because he had nothing to do with today. And now, it's like, shit. This was created for us, so now I feel like I was...
Well, see, and that's where I say, with the Creator, okay, so I thank the Creator for everything.
Now I am.
But
I didn't before.
I always got to remember, though, don't forget the other ones. Instead of it's always thank the Creator, thank the Creator. But we leave out our own family, thanking them for what they've done. The freedom of choice that the Creator gave us. Because we don't have to choose to make dinner, and we don't have to make dinner. We choose to.
Right.
The wife doesn't have to; she chooses to for you. She chooses to do your laundry. The kid. All these things. So it's like that. With that freedom of choice, we got to be thankful for the choices that are made towards us and that we make. So yeah. So it's like I said, my thought process. Everything got whacked, rearranged, and I think so much differently today than I did.
I'm thinking the Creator all the time now. And man, I was just driving to work today, and I'm like, gosh darn it, they freaking had me, man. Oh, they fooled me for 41 years, man. They fucking got me.
Well, and here, what was the Bible saying in Revelation? It says that the devil, it talks about the devil, the serpent of old, the deceiver of the whole world. Doesn't say he just deceives some. Doesn't say he deceives everybody but Christians. Doesn't say, he says he deceived the whole world. Well, if he's the deceiver of the whole world, how is that possible? Because Christians think they got it.
Right.
They're going to know the end times when they happen. Well, what if the end is when you die?
Well, yeah. Ooh.
Just you specifically, not an end of the world.
Right.
Because that is the end of the world for you.
It is.
Just like the beginning of existence is when you are born. There is no existence before you're born.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be an apocalyptic.
They teach it and read it like this worldwide cataclysmic event. But here's the things. It talks about you will hear of war. You'll hear of wars and rumors of wars. Don't worry, the end hasn't come. Why? Because you're still hearing about this stuff. Your eyes are still open. You're still awake. You're still alive. You will. It talks about. I'll take one. There'll be two people in the field. I'll take one, leave the other. Christians teach about this rapture thing. Okay, that's not what it says. All it just says is one was taken, the other was still there. Could it be the one now died and moved on, and the other one's still alive? It never said the other one was a wicked person or a sinner or anything. Well, I mean, we're all sinners. It never said the other one was, unrighteous. They weren't going to heaven. Same with, the two people on the roof. I'll take one, leave the other. They teach that as a rapture, but that's not what it says. You go back, you go back about the signs that you'll see, all these things. That just says that you're still alive. Don't worry, the end hasn't come.
Yeah.
These are, you'll know when the end is getting near. I mean, we usually know when, unless it's an instant death.
Yeah.
But I mean, we know like when we're getting sick and the end's gonna be near, things like that. So I'm taking a whole new outlook on this end of the world, end times with the Bible. That when I first became a Christian, so to say, that was the stuff I believed in.
Yeah.
Now I look at it like, no, we need to be thankful every day. We need to be ready to meet the Maker every single day, because nobody knows the time but the Father in heaven.
Yeah.
Well, what does nobody know the time of? Your own death. You don't know the moment you're going to die. So I mean, my outlook is completely different. And you got to be ready. You got to always be prepared. You always got to be, Jesus says things like, there's no love greater than that, where one gives up their life for a friend. Things like that. Which tells me that love is the greatest thing. That is what we're here to do.
Yeah.
That is our purpose in life, and that is a sensitive spot right there. So like love's been my big thing. Romans chapter 13, love is the fulfillment of the law. 1 John 4:8 and 4:16, God is love. Well, if God is love and love is the fulfillment of the law, what's the law? Well, the law is God, which is love. So the law is love, which it has to be because love is perfect. Well, what's the law? Love your God, love with all your heart, mind, and soul. Have no other gods above that God. I'm not saying there isn't other gods. I have no other God above that, because that is the all-conquering God, which is love. Don't cheat, steal, lie, murder, because love can't. That's not what it does. It's perfect. The law can't be any other way. That's why when you break the law, the penalty of sin is death. Doesn't mean you're going to be killed, but what it means is that's what you deserve. Because this law is so perfect, it can't be any other way. That's why there's the ability of forgiveness. That's the only way. That's the only way to get around that.
Yeah.
That's the only way God can help us to be with us, or whatever, love can be with us, is to forgive us, because we can't attain that because it's perfect. Right. It is perfect. It can't be any other way. The only other way is for forgiveness, repentance and forgiveness. So yeah, I mean that's kind of,
that's hard too.
It is. It's hard. 1 Peter says that love covers a multitude of sins. 1 Corinthians 13. Now by these, faith, hope, and love, the greatest is love. I mean, I'm just using verses, but you can take them in context of the chapters and read what it says. This is where you got to be careful with using verses, because Christians will take verses out of context, atheists take them out of context. So I tell everybody to do their own digging, read the actual chapters that those are from. Don't just take my word from it. But it comes back to Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word is God. That's an interesting concept, because the Greek word for word, I can't remember the Greek saying of it, but what it means is an idea. Okay, so whereas Christians teach you, the word means the Christ. Well, I don't think so. I think that's something you've made up, because the Greek word for word specifically means an idea, just like how we use a word. What a word represents, an idea, right? Okay, so let's take that into context with 1 John 4:8, 4:16, where it says God is love. So in the beginning was an idea. This idea is love. This idea was love. This idea is love. In the beginning was an idea. This idea was with love. This idea is love. Nothing came into being but through this idea of love. which makes sense because people who which pretty much is all of us, we weren't conceived in love, but love is what woke us up. So it's pretty interesting because love is being alive, being awake. Death is being asleep, being a zombie in the world. Death is mentioned a lot of times in the Bible, but not in the way that, like, actually being physically dead. More of a metaphorically dead. Well, goes the other way also. So when it says we're awake, it's or alive or things like that. Metaphorically, we need to wake up from death. Which is what we were all in. Like you said, for 41 years, for me 34. You know what I mean? So, I guess I was about 31 when I started going through all this.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what it is. You gotta. They had me too.
Genius.
So, in some way, shape, or form, whether it's through religion, whether it's through science, whether it's through dinosaurs, space, somewhere they get you. That's the deceiver of the whole world.
And see, like, okay, since I'm now believing in the Creator, it makes me want to be very questionable about everything, So I don't want to jump too quick and say, hey, every scripture or Bible is correct and stuff. But, like, when it says, you'll know it, somewhere it says the earth is something and it is not to be moved or something.
There's a couple verses in Isaiah.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying, though, right? It's
or like the tent, where it's like a tent, which is like a dome, not a circle.
Yeah,
it's a dome. A tent. When you put up a tent, it's a dome.
Yeah,
it's not a circle, So.
But it says that it's not to be moved.
Yeah, it's stationary. That it's.
And now we're taught, as soon as you go to high school, or not high school, but in school, that we're on a ball and it's spinning.
Yeah.
The total opposite of what the Bible says. So it's like, let's just take everything as far away from what it could be and make, I don't know.
We're to the point where they got Christians basically taking those verses, this is what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Where they take them and they say, they use it to try to justify their belief in the spinning ball or whatever. Where they put that over what the Bible says, their own book. So, mind you. So, yeah,
It blows me away because
But the one thing another thing I've learned is, love saves. Love is a very saving thing, right? God saves, love saves. Love is a saving thing. Evil doesn't save. Like, if I hated you, like if you were in a burning fire and I saved you, it's because I love you or I love mankind. I love humans, right? Not because I hated you. If I hated you, I probably would have left your ass in there, right? You see, so there's a difference there, okay? But modern Christians tend to put their faith in the book rather than in what you should be putting it in, which is love, the Creator, God. You should put your faith there. You can use the book. It can help you, sure. But don't put all your, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
So, the book, it can lead you the right way, but it can lead you astray too. If you use it wrong. Anything. That's anything. That's not... I'm not saying it was intended that way, but
the interpretation.
Yeah, a lot of people become atheists because of the Bible. So you got to be careful, or because of their denomination, their church denomination. So I use it as a supporting device in my beliefs, but it's not my all saying.
Right.
It's not what determines everything. I tend to go by personal experiences, and it supports those.
Yes.
So, it's just what we observe, what we actually experience, whether in a spiritual sense, but you personally observe that, so. Dude, my kids are going to flip out when I come home with this big old outfit. It's going to be hilarious.
Did they know you were here today getting it?
I don't know. I don't know. I know my wife does.
Yeah.
But she wasn't happy about it either. But I told her, 10 years we've been together, you've known that I was getting more tattoos. So, she, so basically it's like, you got to deal with it. You knew.
Yeah, hey.
I've said it for all these years that I was going to be getting more.
All right, well, we're going to sign off for now, but we're going to be back. Bam! Half hour of material. Check that out. And then we'll get the finished product of the day. It won't be finished, but we'll get the finished of the day session.